Jokic is out. I can switch.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Roto Grinders Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevie TPFL. It's Friday. It's the 6th of January. It's 2017. We have 8 basketball games to talk about here on tonight's slate. And if you guys sound like I'm in a good mood, I'm always in a good mood after I get like a 5-hour nap during the day. So like I'm in a peachy mood. How are you? And what's your mood looking like, CJ?
Optimistic. We're going to call it optimistic. And Paul George busting his chalk. We can chalk that one up for another Team MG win.
I don't even want to gloat about it. Like Paul
I
George,
do.
It's Paul George. It's Paul George in 2017.
And he's a gazillion % owned. Like, easiest fan on the board, guys. Like,
so we were talking a little bit. I slept until about 5 minutes till lock. I did not get to play a lot of basketball. I was up really late last night finishing NFL stuff, so didn't get to play. And right when I woke up, I get the RG alerts, and I saw that the news that Kilpatrick was moving to the bench. And all I could say was, I hope our listeners listened to us yesterday, because right when he moved to the bench, we talk about it all the time on the show. The usage will instantly go up in that situation. So I hope our listeners stuck to what we were talking about Kilpatrick on the slate.
Oh, I had 100% on FanDuel already, and I had 40% on DraftKings. I was about to hit submit, and I saw my Twitter timeline blow up, and I was like, oh, what is it? And I said, Kilpatrick moved to the bench. I quickly logged on the Roto Grinders Court IQ because I assumed his usage would go up. I did it first. I forgot to take out Jeremy Lin. His usage was up 2%, and I was like, oh, what happens when I take Lin off the floor? Plus 5.5% usage. Went back to DraftKings, but turned 40 into 60 really quickly.
Yeah, just we talk about these situations all the time. And guys, if you're not using the Court IQ tool over on Roto Grinders, like we talk about it all the time. It's one of the greatest tools on the site, and it's still a free tool. Like I complain at least 3 times a week about this tool being free because I don't want everybody to have to pay for everything, but this tool should not be free.
We made a pitch. Were you there when I was making the pitch to Cameron in Florida to put that in premium?
I was.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was like the biggest non-starter ever.
So interesting slate here. 8 basketball games and Friday with 8 games. This week has just been so gorgeous. 8, 7, 8, 7, like 8 back on Friday here. Like this has just been a good basketball week.
Yeah, it's been an awesome basketball week so far.
So let's get started here. We're going to start with Minnesota at Washington. 211.5 total in here. Washington favored by 5 in this game, and no injury news to even mention here. Both these teams did not play on Thursday night, so no worry of back-to-back here. We'll start with Minnesota. What stands out to you here for the Timberwolves?
John Wall is for the Timberwolves. You always do that to me. You always bury the lead. Let's see, Timberwolves.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Victor Oladipo just had a 3.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to need a couple more of those. And I was trying not to talk about the teams during the podcast. And look at you just trolling me, tempting me right in there, first minute into the pod. I promised Stevie, I was like, I'm going to do a better job not talking about it. I'm going to stay focused. And what Stevie do, he brings it up the first minute of the pod. I got to love it.
It's my job, CJ. I'm sweating through you tonight. So, I just hope that you take it down, and we'll see what happens. But, all right, back to this game. Our listeners
love I want on the Minnesota side.
There's nothing on the Minnesota side?
I mean, Gorgie Zhang, but, Cat's overpriced.
Way too high.
It's I'm not paying $6,700 for Zach LaVine. I'm not paying $6,800 for Wiggins.
If you're playing LaVine, you're playing him on FanDuel. He's still only $6,400. It's a wing against Washington. 6,400 LaVine in cash games on FanDuel, yes.
Ricky Rubio would be the closest thing to a play I would want to play.
Yeah, the problem, like you said, these guys are all priced where they should be. We want value. We want, expected return, and you're not really getting that on the Minnesota side here.
Yeah, I just kind of think the situation is kind of a stay away on both sides, to be honest. I don't see a guy on Washington I want to play either.
Otto Porter's price is down, but do you think he'll see a lot of defense from Wiggins?
I do. Markieff would be the closest thing to a guy I want to play, 4,900 on DraftKings, but we've all done this train before.
That guy burns us more than we get burned by touching the stove. Like Markieff Morris is just he's brutal. I guess like you could play Bradley Beal, but
You
I
can't play him
think
on DraftKings.
he's 7K on FanDuel.
69 on DK. There's just no way.
Yeah, more cash play there, right? Like that's it.
Yeah, Gortat against Towns, maybe?
You have to have some interest in John Wall, right?
No,
Why not?
because he's awful at basketball. We've been over this.
Point guard.
What's his price on FanDuel?
It's under 10K finally. It's
Oh,
9,700.
Oh, yeah, he's 10-1 on DraftKings where I'm looking.
Yeah, he's 9,700 outside of Isaiah Thomas, who we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Goran Dragic, which we'll talk about. But, like, point guard, not the heaviest position tonight on FanDuel where you have to play two guys.
I respectfully very much disagree.
There's options.
Point guard might be one of the most loaded positions we've had the entire year.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we do the podcast then because I want to know these guys you're talking about. We missing anything here? You mentioned the Gorgeous Dong. I think he's definitely in play here. A matchup with Markieff, and neither one of these teams typically goes small, so I think Gorgie Dang is definitely in play.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I think this game is kind of like one of the weakest ones on the slate, so then we should move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on to Houston at Orlando. I told you this total before the podcast, and you lost your mind. 223 total here. Houston favored by 5.5. The only injury news that we have here is a Beverly possible question mark on a back-to-back after being questionable on Thursday. That total suggests that somebody's missing this game.
Yeah, I have to imagine Pat Beverly's sitting, right?
I'm with you. I 100% agree with you. We're recording the podcast, and it's almost the end of the third quarter, and he's played 20 minutes in the game on Thursday night. So, like, we're going to find out how questionable he really is. I might flip that game on right at the end to see if the announcers or the coaches say anything about him sitting out on a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's kind of something I'll definitely keep an eye on out. But even if we don't get news, like that line in total fully suggests that that's not going to be the case, like that he's going to sit. Like I'm assuming he's going to sit.
Yeah, it's a 7:00 game, so we're going to get news. Like
yeah, we'll know.
But so on the Houston side, James Harden, even on a back-to-back on FanDuel, he's under 12K. He's 11-8 in this game. There's just nobody in Orlando that can stop this guy.
Yeah, I know. No, this is going to get ugly early and often.
Any interest in Trevor Ariza? He's been playing really good lately. Like, we don't love this guy.
Until tonight.
Really? He's not playing good tonight?
No, total dud. I don't mind him, but I'd like him more if Aaron Gordon draws the start.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Magic do if they leave Fournier on the bench and Elfrid Payton draws another start and Beverly's out. Payton definitely would be in play.
Yeah, exactly.
James Harden defense. Sign me up.
Yeah. Elf Payton, baby. He's 6K. Looks expensive, but if there's no Beverly, green light.
Yeah. Ryan Anderson revenge game.
Don't hate it. Stretch fours against Serge Ibaka, not a bad idea. Don't mind Vooch either against the backup Houston team in a pace-up spot.
Yeah, and like Nene on a back-to-back, like he won't play a bunch of minutes, so Vooch probably see a lot of Harrell. So that's definitely a plus matchup for Vooch.
Yeah, could even go small and play Ryan Anderson on Vooch. We've seen him do that before.
Yeah, that would be gorgeous for Vooch.
Gorgeous both ways, to be honest.
We want to see Fournier's minutes get back up, right? Like we saw 30 minutes, but I want to see a good shooting night, and I want to see 35 plus minutes before I play him at his price.
If they announce him in the starting lineup, I could do it. Because he came off the bench in that game.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It would depend on what the starting lineup is. If Peyton's in the starting lineup with him, I think that's going to hurt his usage.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I probably would need to see like Fournier and DJ Augustine back in the lineup. But yeah, probably a situation to stay away.
Let's pull up our handy-dandy Court IQ tool really quick here. And with Fournier and Peyton on the floor together here, just kind of curious to see what it looks like. Fournier gets a minus almost 2% usage while Peyton's on the floor with him. So if they start together, I kind of will probably stay away from both.
That makes a lot of sense. I completely can get on board with that.
That's it, right? I guess Eric Gordon's always in play if you're playing tournaments, but more on FanDuel than DraftKings, I think. I don't know what his price is over there.
It's who'd you ask about? Sorry.
Eric Gordon.
58. Nope.
I think I have it. Little interest there. Little interest.
Could I remind you that Cleveland's playing Brooklyn and we don't know what the status of that entire team is?
Well, let's talk about it. It's the next game. We have Cleveland at Brooklyn. Obviously, there's no line in this game. There won't be a line in this game. Irving, Love, LeBron, all questionable. Lynn, questionable. Hollis Jefferson, questionable. I would expect Lynn to probably sit this one out.
LeBron's going to sit this one.
I think they sit everybody. Why would they play their big three against Brooklyn at Brooklyn?
Well, then this slate gets really boring because it's play all the Jordan McRae, Channing Frye that you can fit.
Tristan Thompson against Brooklyn.
Yeah. You'd probably stack 4 Cleveland guys and a couple Brooklyn on the other side.
Especially if we get news that the trade goes through like middle of the day.
Like, the Kyle Korver trade?
Yeah, because then they would lose even Dunleavy and they would be even shorter. Like, McRae would play big minutes in that situation.
Yeah, that would be pretty incredible.
Like,
Are we sure it's Dunleavy and not the
the report that I saw right before we jumped on was Dunleavy and a first-round draft pick in 2017 or 2019.
Why didn't they get rid of Mo Williams' contract? That's so weird. Huh.
See.
Weird.
Yeah, it really is going to depend on news for the Cleveland guys. If one of them sit and the other 2 play, they're in play. If 2 of them sit and 1 plays, obviously that guy just becomes a lock at that point. If they all 3 play in this game, what are we doing with Cleveland?
Stacking it up, hoping it stays close.
You would have to stack Brook Lopez or something with it, right? Sean Kilpatrick.
Yeah, Kilpatrick.
You'd have to get 2 from Brooklyn, too, if you're going to do that.
Yeah, it would probably be Lopez and Kilpatrick off the top of my head. Although I don't mind Dinwiddie. He played pretty well tonight in a pace-up game. He saw some big minutes, and he's the minimum.
Yeah, we'd have to get news that Lynn's out, obviously. But, right. Yeah, I don't hate that.
And it would be Lynn if Lynn was in, obviously, over Kilpatrick.
Well, obviously, yeah.
We haven't had a lot of time to talk about Lynn this year, so.
Yeah, because he can't stay on the floor.
I understand, but 5,100 against Cleveland in this game would be lock and load.
Yeah, we could see Lynn play here and mess up the whole slate. Sure.
Felder is a viable option if all 3 sit. It's pretty much just play anyone who wears a Cleveland uniform and starts.
Yeah, I think I'd stay away from Shumpert. It'd be the only guy that I'd probably stay away from.
Yeah, he just never shoots.
Yeah, that's why I feel like he'd carry ownership, and I just don't want it, right?
Yeah, me neither.
McRae would be a lock. God, he'd be such a lock.
He'd be 60-something%, I'm sure.
Yeah, but then you just go 80 to 100, and you're still over the field.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Philadelphia at Boston, 213.5 total here. Boston favored by 12.5 in this game.
No Embiid.
Embiid and Covington are questionable, like CJ said. With Sergio Rodriguez probable, Henderson probable. And then on the other side, Zeller is questionable. He's dealing with a sickness. He missed practice on Thursday. This line suggests this game's going to be not close.
No Embiid is what that line says, right?
Right? That's what it says, right?
Yeah, it says that they might give Nerlens Noel a nice auction in front of one of the most rumored teams for him to go join.
If we get news that Embiid's out, can we play Noel probably around 20 minutes?
No, probably not. You would just play all the Ersan and all the Dario Saric you could handle.
You'd play a lot of Ilyasova, right?
6K. Nope, not scared. Next. Don't care.
If we get news that Tyler Zeller sits, can we play Olynyk here? He would get run in a blowout, wouldn't he?
Let's see. We know the rules for Kelly Olynyk, but just in case you're new to the podcast. 1, he's going to have to see minutes. Possible. Zeller, questionable. You have to play him against big centers that can't move. Noel, Okafor, definitely a check mark. And they have to be willing to give him some potential minutes at the 4. Also very possible, Philadelphia likes to play big. Check, check, and check in tournament consideration.
All right. Well, you guys heard it from the man himself here. You haven't got Olynyk right or wrong many times this season, so you've been right on Olynyk a lot, so that's why I'm going to bring him up. I even brought him up before Isaiah Thomas. That happened.
Yeah, that did happen in the year 2016. He's 8,300, but it's Philadelphia. Like, the only thing that's going to stop him is if the game doesn't stay close.
Yeah, but then at what point do you like? He's still in play though, right? Like he still could get to where he needs to get to.
I view point guards a lot deeper than you do. So for me, he certainly would be in play still, but he wouldn't be a favorite option.
We missing anything in this game?
Don't mind some Jay Crowder. Narrative Street came out and complained about the fans. Fans are going to give him a standing ovation at home. Good matchup, maybe no Covington. Going to have some Jay Crowder exposure. I'm playing Narrative Street.
All right, I want to see something really quick. And
for those of you, while Stevie's researching, those who don't understand, the Celtics fans cheered Gordon Hayward, long rumored target. Jay Crowder was not so happy, thinking that the Celtics fans wanted him replaced, said something on Twitter. It turned into a big deal, and Boston fans are kind of feel bad that they made Jay Crowder upset. So they're gonna show him some love on Friday night.
So I wanted to see who gets the biggest bump without Embiid and Covington off the floor.
It's Ilyasova and Sarge.
It's actually Okafor. I just wanted to see. I wanted to have the information in front of me over a fantasy point per minute without those two on the floor.
Wonderful.
Yeah, like I said. So make sure you guys are. I think you have to look at him in tournaments. He's 4,400 on FanDuel.
Sure.
It's just the minutes, right?
Yeah, it's the minutes.
He'd probably play 20 to 25, so you're looking at probably 27, probably ceiling of like 29 fantasy points at that point.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, Stevie, since you already caused us the detour, we're done with this game, right?
Yeah, we're done with this game.
In between games, since I know you were sleeping, have you seen the Boban line?
I saw it. 8 minutes, he had a double-double.
You want to guess what it is now with 3 minutes to go in the game?
No. You're just going to tell me because I don't. How many? Oh, hold on. How many minutes has he played?
22. And he actually might be still in the game. He might be closing.
So he probably ended up with like 13 points, and he probably got close to 18, 19 rebounds.
15 and 19 for 40 DK points. The number 2 highest scorer on that team, by the way, Marcus Morris, 38 points, or DK points. He finally shot the ball decent.
Hey, Tobias got 5X again.
Yeah. Oh, did he really?
I couldn't pick him yesterday, but he got 5X again.
Yeah, he did get 5X.
KCP did not, but you told me he got hurt, so I can't win that one.
No, you can't.
Let's move on. We have New York at Milwaukee. We just saw this game. Porzingis practiced fully Thursday, so that actually throws a huge wrench. People are going to chase Carmelo in this matchup because of the last game that just happened. And I don't know what his price is on DK, but at 8,000 on FanDuel, if Porzingis plays, he is a fade. Sorry.
7,900. This whole game is a fade if Porzingis plays, isn't it?
New York side, yes. Outside of a little bit of Noah, just because he's been fantastic.
What's the Noah price on FanDuel? Like, he's out of play on DraftKings.
He's 5,100.
That's just out of play. You can't play Joakim at 5,500 and 5,100. Come on.
When's the last game Porzingis played? He played New Orleans on the 30th. Before Porzingis went out, 30, 16, 25, 42. I guess the price is. He's still in consideration for tournaments at that price.
Stop it. No, he's not.
It's Milwaukee, CJ.
Just stop it. I would rather play Tristan Thompson. I would rather play Channing Frye. I would rather play Willie Reed. I'd rather play James Johnson. I would rather play like half the board.
Yeah, exactly. You just mentioned all the chalk.
That's not chalk.
You just said Cleveland guys. That's
Tristan Thompson. I promise you will not be chalk. He's never chalk.
That's true.
Ever.
Oh, and huge shout out to Grant Neefer on our show Wednesday. This dude was freaking balls to the wall about Greg Monroe, and yes, that's all I'm saying.
Too bad he stacked up the entire.
I don't even care. That call was insane. Like Greg Monroe played 31 minutes.
Yeah, well, everyone he was chalk too. Like Grant got people on board too. He was 18-9-4-1 and 3 steals. Like I'm not playing 5,800 on DraftKings for Greg Monroe. I don't know what he is on FanDuel, but no way.
He's 5,500.
Nope. Next. Like this game is a whole like Giannis is 10-7 on DraftKings. There's no chance. There's no chance.
Yeah, I think you're onto something about staying away from this game.
Yeah, and the best part is like there's a game that late night that I'm gonna love that you're gonna laugh at me for and hear me. You're gonna have to hear me out.
Well, we need to see the Dellavedova news. I forgot to mention that if he's out, Brodston's only 4,600 on FanDuel. He would still be in play.
Yeah, 57 on DraftKings.
Way too high.
Not
no
in play.
way you're playing him on DK.
Nope.
But 4,600 on FanDuel. If we get news that Dellavedova's out, you just play him and just accept the chalk.
Right.
Moving on to the late games. We go from like 8 o'clock basketball to like 3:10:30 games. So you can
love it. I love it.
You can get some late slate action on this slate. And actually it's pretty solid. We have Memphis at Golden State, 214.5 total here. Golden State favored by 13.5 in this game. And the only injury news that we really need to pay attention to is JaMychal Green. He got a second opinion and fractured something right by his eye. And
he's out. He's already ruled out.
No, he's ruled questionable.
They just ruled him out. I just saw it. It just came across. It came out. I know he's out. Hold on.
I was going to say, I got an alert from RG right before we got on about him being questionable.
Let's go look. I could have sworn I saw out. Let's see. I guess it is questionable. I could have sworn I saw out. That's so weird.
I hope he plays so I don't play Zebo again.
I'm done with Zebo. I'll just play James Ennis. Like, shame on me for not knowing it.
But James Ennis got the bump because Parsons was out. Parsons a player.
He also played a lot of 4.
Such an idiot. I even said on the podcast Parsons was going to sit in the back-to-back, and I didn't play Ennis. Such a moron sometimes. I'll admit it, listeners. See, I can admit it. I have accepted the fact that sometimes I mess up. And
we all make mistakes from time to time.
What are we doing with this Memphis side? Can we play Mike Conley in this game? Massive uptick in pace.
I think this whole game is playable. Like, guards against Memphis has been something I've been attacking hard for weeks. We talked about it the other night. I was playing Austin Rivers and Raymond Felton. They went bananas. The night before that, they were in the Lakers. That was Randall. That was
and Nick Young.
That was Russell Nick Young day. Like, so for me, it's Klay Thompson.
Yeah, see how you did not say Steph Curry.
No, I'm not playing Steph Curry. 8,500. Dream on.
He's 8,100 on FanDuel.
Still too high.
Listen, there's going to be a time next week when he's in the 7,000s, and we're really going to have to start considering him.
That's fine. Let's wait till he gets to the 7,000s.
All right, let's do that. Especially coming off of a game where he shot well against Portland, and people are probably going to chase that game.
Yeah, they're going to chase it so hard.
I don't mind Draymond here. Like, this seems like a good spot for Draymond. He should play a ton of minutes in this game, and I feel like he could definitely take advantage of Zebo, JaMychal Green, Ennis, whoever plays the 4 against him in this game.
Yeah, completely agree.
Like, none of the cheap guys really stand out for me for Memphis because, honestly, I just have to wait to see if JaMychal Green plays or not.
Yeah, but if he doesn't, I'm playing all the James Ennis. I'm not making the same mistake twice.
All right, and that's it, right?
Yeah. We're not playing the Zaza Pachulia All-Star Game narrative, right?
No, we're not. No, we're not. We are playing guys from this game. Miami at LA. No total in this game. Whiteside is doubtful for this game. He hasn't officially been ruled out, but they're hoping he can return on Sunday. So while he has not been ruled out, he is very, very, very doubtful for this game.
He had an Instagram tweet that he's with the team.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. The Heat are hoping to have him back Sunday is the last thing that I saw from the beat writer.
Right. And that's fine. I'm going to assume that's still the case, but he's not with the team. He could physically mess us up later.
Winslow, just so we can note this, he's out for the season, had surgery yesterday, and we don't have to worry about him anymore for this season. Sucks, man. Young kid that has a lot of talent, so I hate to see that happen. And then on the Lakers side, Luol Deng ruled out on Thursday's slate. We'll have to pay attention to that. He's dealing with some injury with his bicep. So we'll have to monitor that and see if they were just wanting him to play the second half of a back-to-back or what. But anyway, I would expect them to play him against the Portland if they were going to do that. But we get an uptick in pace here for Miami going into LA. And tell me why I should not have all the Dragon and all the James Johnson in this game. Cricket. Like James Johnson is the lock, right?
Yeah. I mean, Whiteside, if James Johnson and Whiteside could mess us up again and get it wrong for the third straight day, but whatever. The upside's too high not to.
He came back from a sickness and only played 25 minutes and had a good fantasy day.
Yeah. I mean, Lakers will be on the back-to-back. It's everything you could dream of.
Outside of those two guys, anything else that you like here?
Don't mind. There's one more guy.
Don't say Josh Richardson.
No, I never played Josh Richardson. Dion Waiters, if he gets normal minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to his minute limit. They said he's going to continue to come off the bench for right now. So we'll have to pay attention to see, he missed 20 games, right?
Yeah, I don't think he'll get a minutes limit where you can play him, but if for some reason you saw 20 minutes, you would have to consider him.
Not on FanDuel at 5,100.
41 on DraftKings.
Okay, big difference. The reason that I say no Josh Richardson is it's just we talk about it all the time. This guy gets a massive downgrade in usage with Dragon on the floor. So, you just don't play Josh Richardson if Dragic is playing. It's just as simple as that. And Tyler Johnson definitely in play here. It's just price is just making him tougher and tougher to play.
I think Josh sorry, who'd you say?
Tyler Johnson.
Oh, I'm not playing Tyler Johnson now.
Price is just too high, right? It's just
it's gotten to the point where you can't play him.
Hey, Willie Reed was the easiest fade in the world the other night.
I walked right into that trap.
CJ.
I thought James Johnson was going to sit.
And you knew after he burned us the night before he was going to play.
I know. I did say that on the show. But I was only playing 3 lineups, and I ate so much chalk. It didn't go well.
Lakers side, like you mentioned, they're on a back-to-back here. We're recording the podcast right as that game is about to start. So if an injury comes out where somebody gets hurt in that game and we're not talking about it, that is why, my friends. That is why. Somebody commented a week or so ago about something that happened like that. Well, you guys want it early in the morning. You want it late at night. Hey, guess what? We're going to miss stuff sometimes. Lakers side on a back-to-back here. Assuming we don't get any injuries, D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle look nice in this game.
Yep, if Luol Deng sits again, Swaggy, Luke, and Clarkson. Oh, Clarkson's questionable. When the hell did he's probable?
Yeah, he's fine.
All right, Lou Williams, Jordan Clarkson, all those guys firmly in play. But Julius Randle the GOAT. Julius Randle the GOAT. Do I need to explain to you why you need to play Julius Randle the GOAT?
No, you don't. Who's going to guard him?
I don't know. James Johnson, maybe. That would be the worst matchup on the floor that he could possibly get. And I'm still not even worried about that.
Is Mozgov sneaky here? They took away all of Thomas Robinson's minutes after it was working. So tilting.
Well, no, they didn't take it away. What happened was, Randall and Mozgov were just doing pick and roll every time, and they couldn't stop it. So they just kept going and going and going and going.
Yeah, but Black has 14 and 10 minutes over the last 2 games. He's starting to get his minutes back.
Mozgov's not playing 37 minutes again. I'm not saying you could play Thomas Robinson. I'm just saying the minutes aren't dead.
Okay. Well, fair. It's kind of it, right?
It's kind of all I got.
All right. That's all I had written down, too. Clippers at Sacramento. No line out for this game. Obviously, we're waiting to see if Rudy Gay is going to play. He is questionable. Chris Paul is on the doubtful side. Lakers at Sacramento. This game's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Lot of options here. We'll start with the Clippers side. What do you got here for the Clippers?
Austin Rivers, Raymond Felton. Chris Paul is listed as doubtful.
Yeah.
So after people don't like targeting these guards against Memphis. I do. They performed a good matchup here against the Kings. Gonna be right back on them. I don't care that Austin Rivers is 5,300. Like, he should be 6K.
Just play JJ Redick too.
Yeah. Oh, shooting guards against. Let's see. Shooting guards against the. Let's see. Against the Kings. Do we play them? I don't remember. What have we done the last couple of years, Stevie?
Every time. He's
And what if-
4,400 on FanDuel.
What if I told you he's 5,200 on DraftKings? But there's a but. He's small forward eligible.
What?
Oh,
For people that can't see, I just got a huge smile on my face.
he's small forward eligible.
Oh, JJ. Welcome to my teams, my friend.
Welcome, open arms. Welcome.
Yeah, if you guys have
welcome.
expert survey incentives at Roto Grinders, I bet you JJ Redick is overweight on Stevie's list tomorrow.
No bet. No bet, sir.
Oh, man. Like, the minutes are back. The hamstring's fine. It's Sacramento. It's in Sacramento. Just play JJ Redick.
Wes Johnson's lost all his minutes. Like, just play.
Finally. Finally. They're playing their better players. Finally.
Yeah, it's all green lights from here.
Oh, we can't play DeAndre Jordan in this game, right?
Against Boogie, I would not recommend it. But there are people that like to do stupid plays out there, and if you want to make a stupid play, by all means.
I will say, DeAndre Jordan, much better game log than I thought. I don't really love looking at game logs, but over the last 5 games, he has at least 40 fantasy points.
How did Reggie Jackson get to value? He was terrible like 5 seconds ago. Oh, my God. You serious?
See, you were supposed to. Kyle Lowry got there too, by the way, after an awful first half.
You got to be kidding me.
Kyle
That was
Lowry
my biggest fade of the day, too. Like, biggest fade of the day, and he gets there in the final minute.
Lowry ended with 55 DK points.
Yeah, that whole game just went banana. The game was over. What the? I hate Detroit so much.
Well, that was Toronto, Utah.
Hornets, Pistons, just 228. You got to be kidding me. Reggie Jackson was the biggest fade on the board, too, and he gets there in garbage time. Unbelievable.
How's your boy doing? Not to derail the podcast. Where's Victor at?
Oh, where's my boy Victor at? Yeah, he showed some signs of life before he went to the bench there. I think he's at like 26, 27.
There you go. You still
Signs
got,
of life. Signs of
still
life.
got time in the fourth quarter, too.
Yeah, signs of life. But 45% Reggie Jackson getting there is going to be a problem.
Not when 60% or so have Paul George.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
We'll see.
nobody has the Joker. But anyway, the other side of this game, we do have Sacramento. If Rudy Gay's out, like, you just play DeMarcus Cousins in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been playing stars on DK for a while, and I really might just continue doing it. Like, the strategy has just been kept working game after game after game. It's like, do I want to pay 10-9 for Boogie, or
But
do I want to?
it's been over a week or so since he's been under 11K, though.
But I don't care. But the problem is the mid-tier is still too cheap. Like, would you rather play Ersan Ilyasova with no Embiid at 6K or Boogie? Like, I don't care how much you like Boogie. The answer is still Ersan Ilyasova.
Yeah, if you do that, too, you could probably fit James Harden in at shooting guard.
You could. Or you could just play Julius Randle or
So
Jabari Parker or Draymond Green or you can play Isaiah Thomas and Goran Dragic and Mike Conley and D'Angelo Russell.
So that raises the question, like on this slate, we're looking at 5 guys over 10K. Like James Harden and Cousins, probably the top 2 guys. If we get news that Kyrie and Love sit, then probably LeBron against Brooklyn. But yeah, your face says it all there. Like,
I'm just not playing any of these guys other than LeBron in that scenario.
It's all fair points, man. Balance with some of these value guys is
like even Kevin Durant is 94. Like, he had 1,500 off.
Yeah, I don't think I'm playing Durant against Memphis though.
I'm just saying, right? Like, Randall and Horford and just Conley, and there's just so many. Klay Thompson, Vooch, Gortat. It's just like I'd much rather would just live in this world.
Ty Lawson returned against Miami. He played 29 minutes. That kind of hurts Collison's value.
Yeah, part B of how to implode CJ's lineups is have Ty Lawson play. If you think he's going to sit, yeah, you can't play Collison or Lawson at this point.
Well, Lawson's price on FanDuel 4,200. If he plays 30 minutes,
the problem is that Aaron Aflalo got reinserted in the starting lineup in the second half, and like that whole situation is going to be a mess. They might start playing Temple at some point. Like, I really think you got to stay away.
Stay away from the guards for Sacramento and just play Cousins.
You can do that, or you can just play. If Rudy Gay is out, you can just play Barnes and hope for the best.
So on FanDuel, like you play Cousins.
I'm not like Stevie. My approach has been super simple. Like, I'm just not paying up for any of these overpriced guys until they fix the mid-tier pricing. Period.
DeMarcus Cousins is not overpriced on FanDuel. Guess DeMarcus's price on FanDuel.
It would have to be under 10K for me to have interest.
All right, well, then you're not playing him.
Okay. Like, I just don't need to. Like, Jokic is 7,100 over there.
Joker.
It's just like there are guys in the mid-tier that have upper top-end fantasy point production that they're going to keep underpricing them by 1,000 to 1,200. Why am I going to play these superstars that are overpriced? I mean, if three a value guy, like if Cleveland Brooklyn opens up and I can play, McRae and two value guys, that's a different conversation. But if that doesn't happen, like, this mid-tier is super strong. Why am I going to get cute?
You make some fair points. Let's move on. We have our game. Every day we play a game where we take a guy that we feel is going to go 5X. We feel like a guy that would go 6X, and then a guy that we feel is going to be 4X or less that is over 7K is kind of our bust. Bust has been tough this year. It's been really tough.
How's Bledsoe doing in my quest to get a bust? Let's see how he's doing there. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. He had a good third quarter.
All right. You went first yesterday, right?
I did.
All right, so I get to go first today. I'm going to lock in JJ Redick at 6X.
Yeah, you can have him at 6X. That's fine.
I knew you wouldn't let me have him at 5X.
Yeah, at 6X you can have him. That's for sure. I'm going to get my veto out of the way right away. Jordan McRae for 5X.
I'll let you have it.
What?
So I'm letting you have a point.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I was not expecting that. 6X, let's go with Raymond Felton.
Well, you have that too.
Oh, man. Stevie just handing me the points today. I like it.
Let's see. There's a guy I was just thinking of too for my 5X. Hold on. Oh, we were just talking about him. Oh, James Johnson.
Nah.
All right, then I'll take Ilyasova.
Okay, fine. You can have him.
It's a little harder at 5X with Ilyasova with his price being up right now.
Nah, that's a lock. That's a good pick. That is a good pick.
All right, let me see who we got over 7K that's going to bust.
This is a no-brainer.
Lock of the century, baby, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, interesting. You can have Melo. I'll take Steph Curry.
No, you won't, veto.
That's right. You didn't veto my other play. God dang it.
Just because I don't want you to get your bust. Like I want you to go all season not getting the bust right.
Oh. Man, it's so hard. I'm going to take
It's harder than it looks.
It is so much harder than it looks. I am going to take There's the guy I know is the better player, and then there's the guy I want to bust. But I'm going to take the guy that I think has got the higher chance of busting. I'm going to take Cat.
All right. I agree. His price is just too high right now.
Yeah, I don't think he'll bust that price, but I want to pick John Wall, but there's probably like no chance he's not getting 4X.
Yeah.
As much as I want him not to, there's like no chance.
9 out of the last 10 games, he's gone at least 4X.
Yeah, it's just like I want it to be a fail, but like he'll fail, but he won't fail that way.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we get out of here on this Friday edition before people get off on their weekend?
Nope. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right. Have a good weekend indeed. Good luck in your contest tonight. Good luck in your NFL contest this weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.